Yeah. Talking about the street, man, I came from it. Talking about the trenches, man, I came from it. Talking about the streets, I got the game from it. Talking about the trenches, I got my name from it. Hey, talking about the trenches, man, I came from it. Talking about the streets, I got the game from it. Talking about the trenches, everything came from it. Talking about the streets, I got my name from it. Got my name from it. Talking about the hood, man, I came from it. Talking about the streets, I got the game from it. You talking about the streets, I got my name from it. Yeah, got my name from it. If you talking about the streets, man, I came from it. I was hanging around the thug, hanging with the junkies. I was out there on the block, my clip, hold on, honey. Yeah, robbers, scammers, shooters, plotters. Hang around the rosters, hang around them shutters. FNs, Simmons, Glocks, and choppers. No, we the only one who got them. No, we the only one who shot them. Hey, had to turn from the evil. Hey, I will hurt my people. Man, that's all I see. A brother in jail or a RIP. Hey, gotta turn from evil. Hey, stop hurting your people. Man, that's all I see. A brother in jail or a RIP. Talking about the street, man, I came from it. Talking about the trenches, man, I came from it. Talking about the streets, I got the game from it. Talking about the trenches, I got my name from it. Hey, talking about the trenches, man, I came from it. Talking about the streets, I got the game from it. Talking about the trenches, everything came from it. Talking about the streets, I got my name from it. Got my name from it. Talking about the hood, man, I came from it. Talking about the streets, I got the game from it. You talking about the streets, I got my name from it. Gotta turn from evil. Stop hurting your people. Young man, all I see, brother in jail, or RIP. Gotta turn from evil. Stop hurting your people. Man, that's all I see. Brother in jail, or RIP.
Hey, shalom, man. I almost feel naked. I don't have my headphones on. But yeah, shalom. And I hope everybody's doing excellent and blessed. First, I want to give our praises to Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, that is the Father and the Son, in the name of the Son, who the word ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, right? So without them, none of this would be possible, man. The motivation behind wanting to edify, wanting to teach our people, wanting to keep our people up to date with things that's going on, want to problem solve and find solutions, man. All of this is the motivation. The motivation for that is the spirit, man. The will to want to keep the commandments and to want to gather together. All praise to the Most High for waking us up to this truth. Shout out to the men and the women of the Lord who are putting in a brick, doing the work. Bringing forth the kingdom from above, right? Sealing the elect. But yeah, man, this is the Weigh House, where we weigh everything in the balance. That balance being the Bible, and is brought to you by Saints Advocate Law and Truth, where I am the salt of the earth, and you are the salt of the earth, making sure that every sacrifice is seasoned with salt, being a sweet savor to the Most High God. That those actions being the commandments, that salt being that light, being the flavor of the earth, the flavor of the world. So yeah, man, we're gonna get into it, man. It's gonna be, we're gonna get into it. We're gonna run straight through it. We're gonna edify. We're gonna bring out some news. We're gonna bring out some topics that's not always easy to discuss, right? Okay, cool. So let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. First, I wanna get into some I wanna get into some news, because with all this international stuff going on, all these countries that are beefing with one another, all these riots, all this civil unrest, we gotta hit it first. I want to hit it because our people don't always pay attention to everything. You know, we don't always pay attention. So, and I don't even want to go in order. I'm gonna just go with what I feel. Right. I'm gonna let the spirit talk. So let's.
Here are news headlines from August 26, 2024. For the first time, a Chinese reconnaissance aircraft breached Japan's airspace today, according to.
Say for the first time. Now you got to think. I'm not sure what China's air bases are in the country, but you got to think China is here. Japan is literally next door, and for the first time, they got a aircraft breach by China. It seems strange to us, but it's even probably more strange to them, because it's strange to me because they're right next door. I don't know how that worked, but let's see.
Japan's defense ministry. In response, Japan scrambled jets and warned the Chinese plane to exit the airspace, which it eventually did. Break. A massive missile and drone attack that was targeting energy infrastructure.
So it's like, you know, Japan is east of China. So why do you have to invade, or why do you have to, you know, cross their jurisdiction? Where are you trying to get to? You know, the only thing on the other side of Japan is a lot of sea, and then the U.S., right? So where you going? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's going on? You know, I know they got something going on with the Philippines and stuff like that. You gotta. It seems very minute, but for the first time in history, now you gotta pay attention to little stuff like that. You know, be not ignorant in a small or be not ignorant in a small matter or great, as the scriptures teach us.
Structure across Ukraine was launched by Russia overnight into today. At least 5 people were killed, and power outages occurred in several cities, according to Ukrainian officials. Break. At least 5 people were killed. Was launched by Russia a massive missile and drone attack that was targeting energy infrastructure across Ukraine.
Okay, so, and this is important as well, because you got to think warfare is very strategic, right? The Lord said He's a man of war. Right? Warfare is strategic. It's not always about casualties. It's about attacking these infrastructures, attacking these systems that people depend on, right? The power grid, things like that, water. And in days of antiquity, what you would do is you would besiege a city. A city would be inside these great walls to defend it. Well, what the enemy would do, they'll encamp around the walls. They will cut off your water supply, cut you off from going in and out, bringing food, starve you out. You don't gotta fight, you know. And that's what's going on here. That's what's going on with Russia and Ukraine, and that's the same thing. That's what's going on everywhere. It's not always a sense of manpower. These nations want to show their smarts. They want to show their intellect. And I'm saying it's important. And I know this is going on over there, but you got to think about what they would do here, because there's going to be some more news brought out of some threats that's going on against the country that we live in. So in a sense, I'm trying to give you a way to prepare for the worst by being aware of what's going on and how other military powers are attacking each other, other strategies of war.
Was launched by Russia overnight into today. At least 5 people were killed, and power outages occurred in several cities, according to Ukrainian.
See, it ain't even about the casualties. 5 bodies, that's cool. Hey, listen, 5 bodies get dropped in your city on the 4th of July. 5 bodies get dropped in your city on New Year's. That ain't, you know what I'm saying? That's nothing. 5 bodies? No, it's the power outages in these cities. It's the disruption of unity in these cities. It's the causing chaos. It's like eternal bleeding.
Officials break. At least 60 people were killed after a dam burst due to heavy rainfall in eastern Sudan. The country's Air Force was conducting rescue operations. Break. At least 1 person died and several others injured after a landslide occurred in southern Alaska yesterday. Some residents were also warned to evacuate over concerns of another landslide. Multiple homes, businesses, and roadways were significantly damaged as well. Break. Canada's government announced today that it is imposing a 100% tariff on Chinese-made electric vehicles and a 25% tariff on Chinese steel and aluminum. Here are news headlines from August 20.
Well, damn. Well, damn. Okay, let's continue.
New nuclear threat has been issued to the United States today from North Korea. This coming out August 24th,
Now listen, they talking about this is a new nuclear threat. How many nuclear threats have the United States received in the past year and a half? In the past 18 months, how many nuclear threats have the United States received? Iran already heated. You got North Korea, and we already know they don't play. North Korea just saying like it just seems like they want to they'll end it all. You know what I'm saying? And this is what I'm talking about before, about being aware of how other nations are fighting each other, because the same thing can happen here. Don't think it can't happen here. Though it seems like it's peace over here, and it's not like that over here. It can happen because tensions are very, very high.
2024, this Saturday, North Korea letting us know that they are not happy with the new strategic plans that have been put out by the United States. Kim Jong-un, wait till you hear the latest that has been coming out. Now, here's the headlines. North Korea condemns the new U.S. nuclear strategic plan, not happy about what has unfolded. Now, in addition to that, North Korea warns of serious consequences after Kamala Harris condemned Kim Jong-un as a tyrant at the DNC. They said he heard this and he was...
Yeah. Hey, listen, man. He heard this and he said, man, a fake nigga woman calling me a tyrant? No, they got like, and this is another thing. We can't have a woman. I really don't care, because the Most High has a plan for this country, and it's gonna be fulfilled no matter who's in office. But I'm just speaking as a man. I'm speaking as a man that is unclear on how the Most High is going to fulfill it. I'm just speaking from just my logical flesh, right? It looks weak to have a woman in office, especially when you have these Eastern countries that women are in a certain position in their country, in their nation. They don't have the same authority as a man. So you have this woman speaking out against this man. It's pissing them off and makes us look weak, right?
Was not happy. Now, North Korea is not the first to respond to the strategic plan of the United States. I shared with you 3 days ago that China had responded to the U.S.'s secret nuclear war strategy change. And China said they took this very seriously as well, not happy about it. And this was Tuesday. We had heard that Biden had approved this new strategy focusing on the nuclear threat of China, Russia, and North Korea combined. So we're seeing the responses, and there are threats of World War III, nuclear war, nuclear attacks coming out. I'm going to share with you the latest on this. Now, in addition to that, this is coming out today, but if you missed it yesterday, I shared with you today, that yesterday we received word that while all of this is going on, now airports around the world are going to be doing MPOX screenings. These have been introduced, new nuclear threat.
Okay. And that's crazy, man. They're talking about the MPOX screening. it seems like we have more pestilence on our hands. Just something else to consider. Something else to consider about these end times. I want to get a script. Let me find it. Let me see if I can find it really quick. And if you hear children, just excuse my children. All right, we're gonna be in the book of Joel. Joel 3 and 2. I start at the top, the book of Joel, chapter 3 and verse 1. It says, "For behold, in those days and in that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem." So the Most High is saying he's going to bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem. I will also gather all nations. So the Most High is, when he's saying he's bringing again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem, he's talking about he's ending it. He's bringing it to an end. It says, "I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat," or Yehoshaphat. That is the Lord's judgment, right? And will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel. So the Lord is going to plead with them for his people because of all the things that the nations have done to us. Us being the Israelites being scattered into the four corners of the earth. He's going to bring them down to this valley, and they're going to receive their judgment. Now, this is they're going to be called down in a war cry. They're going to come and be gathered in this place to fight each other, but the Most High is bringing them together to fight each other. That's what's going on now. This is the pregame. You know, these are the warm-ups. Nation is choosing their teams. They're choosing their teams. They're gathering themselves together, gathering their arms together. But the Most High is going to call them together to fight. And he said, "And I will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land. And they have cast lots for my people and have given a boy for a harlot and sold a girl for wine, that they might drink." So that's going into captivity. These people have oppressed us and taken us into captivity. And that's ultimately what's going on right now. The Lord is bringing these nations, he's bringing them down for their judgment, right? He said he's going to plead with them for his people Israel. And this has to come to pass, man. Again, Matthew 24. Give me 1 second. All right, my bad about that. Just like I said, man, I got the babies in here now. They in here, so excuse the noise, excuse the babies. I'm gonna pull up another video. Something that's going on in the UK right now. It's crazy stuff going on in the UK right now. They just had the looting, and that's still going on. They're still looting. They're still rioting. It's still civil unrest over there, but now they got some more issues. One second. One second. I watched this video. It's fairly new, so let me refresh, and then it should be there. Yeah, this is
Pedophiles are treated better than people who write nasty things on the internet. And I say that because a convicted child rapist has escaped jail for a second time because our prisons are too overcrowded. So instead of banging up vile monsters, we're putting people who write some tweets during the riots in the slammer for arguably harsh.
So now they got these riots going on over there. I brought a video on this maybe like 2 or 3 weeks ago, 2 or 3 episodes ago. They got riots going on with one was incited by some people from Bangladesh, 2 groups on 2 sides of their political parties having an argument. Another one was like police brutality, and it was something else that I can't really remember right now. But it's just a wave influx of issues going on. So now to try to maintain peace, maintain order, they just locking people up. That's basically
and draconian sentences. So let me tell you about this latest, Roman. Reese Newman, he was handed a suspended sentence last December for the historic rape of a girl under the age of 14, and that was in 2005. Under the terms of his sentence, he was ordered to sign the sex offenders register and had to tell police if he went on holiday. But of course, surprise, surprise, in May, he jetted off to Egypt and didn't tell anyone. He breached the terms of his sentence and was hauled back to court, where the judge said to him, and I quote, "If we'd been in different times, then it would have been virtually inevitable you would have gone into custody. The only reason you've escaped immediate custody today is because of the prison overcrowding crisis." There we have it. So meanwhile, if you so much as observe this month's riots from the sidelines as an innocent bystander, another judge previously warned you'll be refused bail and banged up.
So if you're just on the sidelines, if you're not even really participating, you're just on the sidelines just watching, you can be locked up
in custody too. And elsewhere, the mother of teenager Gordon Galt, who was killed in a knife attack, her shock and disbelief after being told in a letter that one of the people jailed for her son's death will be released early from prison as part of Labour's plans to make way for new inmates.
So because these riots, and this is stupid. But that's what's gonna be going on. I think it's 2nd Ezra 16, 2nd Ezra 15. Every time I get videos like this and I come across videos like this, the civil unrest, the people taking matters into their own hands because they're fed up with the government, they're fed up with the system. People are starting to get annoyed. They're starting to kind of fight back politically, fight back as far as like these protests. They say that people are not regard the authorities anymore, and to try to calm the system, calm the situation down, they just gonna lock you up, and then they're releasing people that's supposed to be in prison serving sentences because the jails are overpopulated, the prisons are full of protesters. They letting these people go, like, and this is I want to see where I want to start. I'm in Isaiah chapter 5. I'm going to start at verse 18. Woe to them that draw iniquity with cords of vanity, and sin as it were with a cart rope, that say, let him make speed and hasten his work, that they may see it, and let the counsel of the Holy One of Israel draw nigh and come, that we may know it. Woe unto them that call evil good and good evil, that put darkness for light and light for darkness. Okay, okay. You're okay. You're okay. You're okay. I'm going to read that verse 20 again. Woe to them that call evil good and good evil, that put darkness for light and light for darkness, that put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter. And that's what they're doing. You know, these people should have a right to protest. They should have a right to, you know, do that. I definitely understand there's looting and stuff involved, but these people on the side that are peaceful, that are not doing too much of anything, you know, they shouldn't be in jail, and the jail shouldn't be so overpopulated that they have to release people that should be in jail.
Gordon, who was aged just 14, died of a stab wound in 2022 in Newcastle following an attack by Carlos Nito and Lawson Natty, pictured here. Natty will have served just 40% of his entire sentence when he's released early in just a few weeks' time. And last but not least, today it's revealed 30-year-old Walid Raoul, also known as the Rolex Ripper, has also been allowed to walk free after attempting to steal a 50 grand watch in London. And again, the judge blamed prison overcrowding. He has 9 convictions. 9 previous convictions, unbelievable, for 14 offences. So there we have it. Dare to type some rubbish on your computer in Britain and Keir Starmer will destroy your life. Child rapists, killers and robbers, meanwhile, well, carry on as you are, you're fine. Paedophiles are treated better than people who write nasty things on the internet.
I ain't catch the last of that. Let me catch the end of that. Okay, yeah. So yeah, man, this is wild. This is wild stuff going on, and I guarantee this is only just going to make things worse. It's only going to make things worse. I should be seeing a video. Something should be coming across of in the UK and Britain about how shit's gotten worse. It hasn't gotten better. One of these lunatics that done let out of prison early, done stabbed somebody up. Something. All right, check this. Check this. I thought this was a very good video, man. Dealing with our people. All right, let me
controversial, but I'm gonna say it. Would you agree or disagree that physically on earth there's more black people than the overall Jewish community? Yes or no? Talking about if you were born and raised Jewish, are there more physical people a part of the Jewish community than the overall black community in numbers?
Yeah.
Yes or no?
I would probably say there's probably more black when you look at the continent of Africa.
Yeah, the whole world.
Yeah, I would say yes.
Yes. See, they got their shit together. Community, working with each other, doing dinners every Friday, putting the phone down and discussing the chess moves in the play. See, us as black people, we're fragmented. You can't do nothing.
Right. Hey, that's a good point. We are fragmented as a people. We can't move, right? But it's all for a reason. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28. Man, these are a part of the curses. It's a reason why black people so-called black people cannot just group together and make something work. It's a reason why we're so separate from each other. The book of Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 54, it says, so that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eye shall be evil toward his brother. It's so much drama in the so-called Black community because we're evil toward each other. We don't get along with each other. There are moments where it's a relief when we're in certain situations to see another Black person, but collectively, for the majority in our neighborhoods, it's always beef. It's always some type of tension, right? It's tension with these people that live over here and these people that live on the other side of the tracks, these people that live down the street. These groups of people and these subgroups is within the community. There's always tension because the Lord said for breaking his commandments and not being obedient to him, he's going to put these curses on us. And one of these curses is that we would be evil toward each other, that we wouldn't even get along with our own spouse, the woman that was supposed to be in our bosom, the woman that was supposed to be, we were supposed to be one flesh with. The Lord gonna make your life bitter, right? You won't have peace in your own neighborhood. I get it right though.
A minute. Can't do nothing jealous and envious. Now, this is not gonna go viral because I got a Jewish daughter, so relax. Latinos, the Latin community, they don't move as a fragmented race and culture. That's why they own everything. That's why they buying up all of the businesses. The Asian community, they don't move as a fragmented culture. It's gonna be controversial, but I'm gonna say it. Would you agree?
Right. Everybody moves in order or in unison or something with one another. You may have the Asian gangs that fight against one another, but I bet you in some type of way they work it out in some type of way. They have political connections for business, for trade, for something to give them an advantage to work together as a people, and they set some type of boundary, they have some type of discipline. It's like that with Italians, all the mob movies that we watch. They organize. Black people, we don't have anything, we don't own anything, we don't come together for business, nothing like that, man. Just imagine if we did. And I'm gonna bring out the classic. I gotta bring out the classic. It's in Zephaniah chapter 2 and verse 1. Gather yourselves together, yea, gather together, O nation not desired. Gather yourselves together. Because we're the nation that's not desired. We're the nation that people talk about. They call us by bywords, and we're proverbs, and we're called Black. And that's not even us. That was given to us. Well, you say, oh, white people are called white. Well, they also say they're Italian and that their forefathers were from Spain and Portugal, and their forefathers were from the British Isles and all of these places. But we Black. We don't know where we come from. We're Negro, African American, Black. All right. And for the sake that I do have my little ones, I'm gonna draw one more video. I had a lot more videos that I did want to go into, but for the sake of the children, I got one more video I did want to really go into point for point.
Is Jesus God? And if he is God, where in the Bible does it state that he's God?
John chapter 8, verse 58. Jesus says, before Abraham was born, I am. Now, the Jews did not call God G-O-D. The Jews called God Yahweh, which...
Oh, man. Hey, I'm glad we got more and more Israelites waking up, because we got to deal with these wacky pack doctrines. These are kitty doctrines. They wacky pack. You ever been to Sonic? Sonic's kids meal is called a wacky pack. That's what this is. These are kids meal doctrines. It's amazing that religion has had 2,000 years to come up with an unbeatable doctrine. They have the advantage, but for some reason it's still kid stuff, man. John chapter 8. Now I want to look up a little bit. They say John 8 and 58. I'm gonna let him play. I'm gonna let him get his point out.
Which is the Hebrew verb to be. I am who I am. There was no misunderstanding. The Jews picked up stones to stone him for blasphemy. Before Abraham was born, I am. Deliberately, Christ is claiming to be God. Then in John chapter 10, verse 30, Jesus... Okay,
slow down. It's not deliberately. He's not claiming to be the Most High, right? Let's start up a little bit. We'll start up a little bit. Start at verse 52. Then said the Jews unto him, now we know that thou hast a devil. Abraham knows. Let me start up a little bit. Let me start at verse start at verse 47. He that is of God heareth God's words. Ye therefore hear them not, because ye are not of God. Then answered the Jews and said unto him, Say we not well that thou art a Samaritan and has a devil? Jesus answered, I have not a devil, but I honor my Father, and ye do dishonor me. Wow, okay. He's saying he has a father. He's saying he has an authority. A father is an authority over you. Let's keep reading. And I seek not mine own glory. There is one that seeketh and judgeth. Verily, verily, I say unto you, if a man keep my saying, he shall never see death. Then said the Jews unto him, now we know that thou hast a devil. Abraham is dead, and the prophets, and thou sayest, if a man keep my saying, he shall never taste of death. Art thou greater than our father Abraham, which is dead, and the prophets are dead? Whom makest thou thyself? Who do you make yourself to be? Jesus answered, if I honor myself, my honor is nothing. It is my Father that honoreth me, of whom ye say that he is your God. So there's a distinction, right? Because when Christians say Jesus is making himself to be God, they don't say that as how the Bible says it. Like the word God in the Hebraic culture means, and not even that. The word it goes back to just the word being used in antiquity, how they translated from the manuscripts that they use to translate this word into the word God. It just means power or authority. You know, Moses was called God. The judges were called gods. These people were called gods. The Israelites were called gods. The angels, when it says, when you see the word Elohim and it's plural, the angels are there. They're called God. So it just means power and authority. But see, when these Christians when they read it in the Bible, G-O-D, they think it's talking about the Father every time. Right, let's continue to read. It says, ye have not known him, but I know him. And if I should say I knew him not, I shall be a liar like unto you, but I know him and keep his saying. So Christ it's a distinction between the two. He knows him and he keeps his saying. He is the Father. He that Christ knows is the Father. That's his Father, and it's their God, and it's his God. Then he said, your father, verse 56, your father Abraham rejoiced to see my day, and he saw it and was glad. Your father Abraham rejoiced to see my day. That goes all the way back to Genesis, right? That this verse 56 is key to understanding what he says in verse 58. Abraham rejoiced to see my day. What day? The day that this Messiah, the day that the one that's going to crush the serpent's head, the deliverer, that. He said, your father Abraham rejoiced to see my day, and he saw it and was glad. Abraham saw the day that Christ was prophesied, and he was glad. Then said the Jews unto him, thou art not yet 50 years old, and hast thou seen Abraham? See, they don't understand. And Christians reading this, Christians that read this understand Christ from the perspective of the Jews that didn't understand him. The Jews are saying, how Abraham rejoiced to see your day? You was back there with him? You knew Abraham? Y'all was together? Jesus said unto them, verily, verily, I say unto you, before Abraham was, I am. Ego eimi in the Greek, I existed. To exist, I existed. That's not going back to Exodus when the angel in the burning bush said, tell them I am that I am sent you. That's not a revelation. This is not a revelation to say that Christ is the I am. Jesus is the I am that the angel in the bush was talking about. No, it's not. It just means I existed. Abraham rejoiced to see my day. Abraham, it was prophesied of me way back with Abraham. That's all that's talking about.
Just says, I and the Father are one. No misunderstanding. They didn't. And the Father are one. Verse 30, Jesus says, I. Then in John chapter 10, verse 30, Jesus says, I and the Father are one. No misunderstanding. They didn't think, oh, I see, this guy's a Hindu. He thinks everybody's part of God, so he's claiming that we're all a part of God. No. Jesus was a monotheistic Jew who understood God is one. The Shema of Israel, Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength. Love your neighbor yourself. And very deliberately, Jesus said, I and the Father are one. Then by his...
If there is monotheism going on, and he says, I and the Father are one. There's two right there. Christ isn't breaking. It's crazy. It's crazy logic, and it's confusion, and it's madness, and this shit is chaos, man. These people muddy up the scriptures so bad. God is one God. Yahweh is one God. I don't understand how they can take two people and say that they're one, that makes them, they're morphed. Like the old Power Rangers. It's more morphin' time when they all just like 5 Power Rangers in their vehicles and they all become one mighty morphin' thing. And like, no, that's not what's going on. Look, the scriptures say that you will leave, a man will leave his mother and his father, he will cleave to his wife, and they will become one flesh. Are me and my wife, are we one? Have we morphed together and become one being? So when I go to the store and she stays at home, we're both somehow at different places at the same time? No, that's not what it's talking about, right? But see, you have to take that logic, and when I go read John chapter 17, 21, you have to use that same logic. John chapter 17 and verse 21. I saw that verse 20. This is Christ. He says, neither pray I for these alone, but for them also which shall believe on me through their word, that they all may be one, as thou, Father, art in me, and I in thee, that they also may be one in us, that the world may believe that thou hast sent me. So, okay, so the believers are going to be one. Christ is one with the Father, and we going to be one with the Father and with Christ. So does that make us a part of the Godhead? Does that make us God? Does that make us the Father? No, it does not. And you would not, this man on the screen would not say that. He would correct himself. I doubt he corrects what he thinks John 10 and 30 means, but he say, no, it's not like that right there. That just means that y'all are on the same page. Well, that's what John 10 and 30 means, that we just agree. That's what that means. We're in unison. Can two walk together unless they agree? We walk with God. Same mind. I hate what the Lord hates. I love what the Lord loves. I do what the Lord does.
Deeds, he obviously claimed to be God. Mark chapter 2, Jesus is teaching in a packed out house, and all of a sudden the roof is ripped open, and a paralyzed man, is lowered on a mat to his feet. Jesus looks into the face of the paralyzed man and says, your sins are forgiven. Bingo.
Is Jesus?
All right, let's deal with this, man. Let's deal with this last point. Mark chapter 2. And pray to the Lord that my children have not dragged my TV off of the entertainment center. Mark chapter 2, I want to get straight to the point. Okay. I started, so it said, that's Mark 2 and 5, where he says, your sins be forgiven thee. And I started verse 8. And immediately when Jesus perceived in his spirit that they so reasoned within themselves, he said unto them, why reason ye these things in your hearts? Whether it is easier to say to the sick of the palsy, thy sins be forgiven thee, or to say, arise and take up thy bed and walk. But that ye may know that the Son of Man hath power on earth to forgive sins. The Son of Man hath power on earth to forgive. Who gave him this power? The Father, that he came to do his will and not his own. Christ understood his mission. He understood what he was there for. He understood that through his sacrifice that people's sins were forgiven. That's why this man was stricken with this disease, because of his iniquity. He understood that. But if you don't read the context in the prophets, if you don't read the history, if you don't read what happened before, then you have no understanding. You don't understand how the way that they got their sins forgiven was animal sacrifice. That the Most High was not accepting that. What is the multitude of this sacrifice for? I am tired of the fat of bulls and rams. I'm sick of your burnt offerings. I've had enough. Offer me nothing more. Roughly paraphrase Isaiah chapter 1 and 11, and also in I believe it's Jeremiah 2. Let's see. But yeah, man, that's what's going on, man. This is not Christ saying that he is the Most High. That's not what's going on at all. He had power to forgive sins. It's clear, man. People just, Jeremiah 8 and 20. Was it 6 and 20? I can't remember, can't read. But yeah, people just make up stuff. That's it. We had these old doctrines that have been recycled down for so long, and people just regurgitate and make it up. But hey, man, this is the Weigh House. This is episode 8, season 2. Tabernacles is coming up. We got like 3 weeks. We got Feast of Trumpets coming up this Monday at evening. We blowing them trumpets. We doing it big again. Bringing out the good food, the good gathering of the people, assembling together. I don't know. We're gonna put out a video. It might be on the Salt page. It might be on the Iron on the Zion page. You just got to check them out, man. But shout out to the brothers at Iron on the Zion. We're gonna be having tabernacles 2 weeks after the new moon, September the 16th through the 23rd. Hit us up at either email, because I can't remember the brother's email, but if you want to hit us up, if you I think it's the team officially Israel at gmail.com, Einhorn Zion, and Mathawa513 at gmail.com. I'll put it in the chat. If you want to attend Tabernacles with us, man, it's going to be a good time. Excellent time, man. But that's the show. Shalom.